Hello, welcome to Cooking with Arun Kumar. Today I'm gonna show you how to make or you can have you can set so many different names. So I call this either all in one bowl, or I can say protein bowl. So basically I'm making protein bowl. So you can have whatever you have, like whatever you're growing in your garden, also whatever you have in your house, you can just cook all together, make a bowl, and it's so good. And you can see what you like, whatever you like, you can add it in there. So let's start. So I'm using chicken for protein, but you don't have to. If you want, you can have completely vegan also, this without chicken. But I'm gonna show you what I'm making chicken. You can have chicken in 2-3 different ways. You can fry them, what I'm gonna do, or you can either buy whole chicken also, roasted chicken. Sometimes you can buy whole food, or like different store you can buy those, local store you can buy those from. Also you can you can put this whole chicken in the oven, and you can just bake the chicken, and maybe you can put some seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, also, and just take the chicken out, whatever leftover, you can do something else, tacos, you can, and rest of the bone you can use for chicken broth. So what I'm doing, I'm using chicken breast. I usually buy whole chicken, and so I don't have time, so much time right now for bake this chicken, or and you can buy a roasted chicken also if you like for quick. And so I just took the breast out. So I'm using one breast, around 1 pound chicken breast I'm using. So I just cut them in small pieces. And I'm using, for protein, I'm using chickpeas also. I cooked them already. And you can use black beans also. You can even use pinto beans too if you want to. Bunch of vegetable. And also I'm using roasted eggplants. You can either roast them in the oven, or you can roast them in the, if you have a gas stove, you can roast them in the gas stove. I like that one. Or actually you can roast them in the fire, charcoal also. So let's start first thing. So I'm gonna fry the chicken. Here you can see this is chicken breast. I'm using this chicken breast. So I just cut them small. You can cut them more smaller, but I'm just gonna fry them. Then I am gonna cut them more smaller and continue frying them. Right now I'm using 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Oil is hot, and I'm gonna fry them. But before I fry, I'm just gonna season this chicken with some salt. I'm gonna use 2 teaspoons of salt here, and 1 teaspoon of onion powder here. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm going to use half teaspoon of black pepper here. Let's mix this together nicely. Before do anything, wash your hand nicely. Okay, so now I'm going to fry this chicken here. You can fry this chicken both sides, just until they're done golden brown. Okay, so I'm outside right now. So second thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna roast these eggplants. So these days you can get eggplants, and it's growing in my garden too. Right here I have it right now, purple and kind of a little bit purple and white kind of eggplants. 2 kind of eggplants growing, but this is not from my garden. This one I already bought few days ago, so I said I want to use this. So I'm using this eggplant, so I just cut them in half. I'm gonna roast this. I'm gonna roast them in the fire. Right here, if you can see. So I'm gonna roast these eggplants. Right here on the fire here. And while I'm roasting, so I'm gonna season just olive oil while I'm roasting also, both sides. So this way actually it roasts faster. And oven takes so much time. Or you can put it in a grill also. You can just grill this eggplants. That also work. when you're grilling, you can do. Okay, so there's a 2-3 different way you can cook these eggplants. You can slice them thin and fry them. That's the fastest way. Okay, and second thing, you can grill them, cook them in a oven, or like bake them, and you can grill them in a grill also. So I'm just trying this way. I like a little bit of fire roasted smell, so I'm gonna fry this. I'm gonna roast this a little bit like this, and then I'm gonna fry, so I don't have to roast this here so long, because I don't like to waste so much gas. Okay, so I roasted this eggplants are outside in my grill. So now I took the skin off and cut them in small pieces, and so now I'm gonna fry this with onion and garlic. So I'm taking half onion, medium size, I chop them, and 4 to 5 clove of fresh garlic, I chop them here. I'm using a same cast iron which I use for chicken. You can see the chicken is done here, and it's like gold. You just do like golden brown, and I just cut them in small pieces. Also after that, same cast iron where I fry the chicken. So I'm gonna fry this onion first, and I'm using 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 to 3. Okay, so in our bowl, I'm gonna use some cabbage, boiled cabbage. So I have a green cabbage. So I just took the skin off. Like I am using half, like medium size of cabbage. I just took like 6 or 7 layer of cabbage. So you can see like this. So I'm boiling water here right now. So I'm gonna just break them in half, like this big small piece, like this much, and I'm gonna drop in the water. So I'm heating this water here. It's already like hot here water. I'm gonna boil this cabbage here until they get soft. So so you can have like enough water, while you're boiling this cabbage. All the cabbage should cover, So I'm gonna add like 1 teaspoon of salt in here, in this water. You can boil until this gets soft. And same time I'm frying this onion here. So I'm frying this onion like 6 to 7 minutes right here. It's been like 6-7 minutes. So now I'm gonna add this garlic. Just fry this garlic for like 2 minutes. You can add like extra more garlic. So good actually in eggplants. Garlic, so good. Okay, so it's garlic is done. I'm gonna add some salt. I'm gonna add like 1 teaspoon of salt here. Okay, and a little bit pepper. You can add like you can add a black pepper, but I'm gonna add chili powder. So I'm gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder here. This is optional. You can add black pepper, half teaspoon. Now I'm gonna add this eggplant here. So you can just leave it like this. If they already cooked completely, you can just turn the stove off now. After you mix them all. If you think they're not cooked, and some of the pieces not cooked here, so I'm gonna cook them a little bit longer here. So I'm gonna cover this one, so that way they can cook faster. Okay, so let's check this eggplant. While you're cooking this eggplant, you have to make sure they're not burning on the bottom. And if you think the burning, just stir them. You have to stir them every like 2 to 3 minutes, and smash them right here like this. And you can taste right now. You want a little bit of salt, you can add some salt also here if you need to. Otherwise you don't have to. Or if you wanna like season with more pepper, you can put some pepper here, like black pepper or chili pepper, and or a little bit more like olive oil. You can add it. We don't need it here. So it's almost done. Like this, cook. You can smash them, nicely like this. Okay, so this eggplant is done here right now, and I'm gonna show you one more thing. Chickpeas. So how I'm just gonna roast the chickpea in the stove like this on the pan. Okay, so this eggplant is done. I'll just take them as separate here. So now I'm gonna fry this chickpea. I'm gonna add like 2 tablespoons of olive oil here, and so this chickpeas already cooked. So you know I usually soak them for longer than, like sometimes do like 2 or 3 days also. You can watch my video, all the beans and chickpeas, you know, how long I soak them, what I do. So then I cook them in a pressure cooker. So when I am cooking in a pressure cooker, I add some salt here, like 1 or 2 teaspoons of salt. So they already be salty here. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna roast them in the oil here. In the same cast iron, you don't have to wash them and nothing. And you wanna roast them like in a high heat, because they just cook. You just need to like make them a little bit like roasty. And all this thing you can do in one time. You can use all the stoves. You can do chickpea on one side, eggplants one side, chicken one side, and cabbage on one side. But since I am filming, so I'm just doing like in a same pan also, and like a little bit slow. Otherwise, it's so fast. And our cabbage is cooking here. Let's check here. And so this cabbage is almost done. So you know, while you be careful when you're touching this, is very hard. So they're boiling here right now. You can taste here and see, like if you need like salt more, you can add some more salt if you want more salty. Otherwise, you don't have to. You can add salt even later also. You can use cauliflower too, but I'm not gonna use it because I have like enough varieties here right now. So you can use cauliflower. You can just roast them, you know, and thus in the pan, like a little bit, just, and you know, like, or you can put them in an oven also. Just like brush them with some olive oil and put them in an oven and just roast them how well you want. Like, you know, you can add also cauliflower either or broccoli. You can use a steamed broccoli also. So there's so many options for this bowl. So here our cabbage is done here. I just turned this stove off. You can see it's cooked, and I'm gonna just leave it like this here until we're ready to eat. And our chickpea is almost done too. So when you do like high heat, so you know all the water dry out, but you have to make sure you have to stir this like regular. And this is also optional. You don't have to, you know, fry this chickpea. You can just use cooked ones already cooked. You can just add like this. But you know, but like this is just get more better, good. And so one more thing I'm gonna add it in our bowl. I'm gonna add some potatoes, veggies. I'm gonna bake them. So I'm gonna cut them potato in a small and just bake them a little bit. Or you can do another way. You can fry them here. Okay, so I'm adding one more thing here. Yellow pepper. You know, we have bunch of yellow pepper growing in our garden. So I said, oh, why don't I use this one too? So I'm using 2 yellow pepper here. I'm just frying them with 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 3 or 4 clove of fresh garlic. You can use garlic powder instead of that. And I'm using 1 teaspoon of salt. That's all. Just fry them until they cook. And I'm using this potatoes here. You can see I just cut them like, see this big pieces here, and I spread them in here because that way they can cook faster. So I just using some olive oil here and 1 teaspoon of salt here. I'm gonna brush these potatoes all nicely. So I use like 3 big size of red potatoes here. So I'm baking them for 425 for 20 minutes or until they cook. In 20 minutes, after 20 minutes, we're gonna check if they cooked or not. Okay, so now everything is done here. So these potatoes are cooked. So I cooked them, I flipped them and cooked them for 8 more minutes and brushed some oil. And now I'm gonna make a bowl. How you can make a bowl? So you wanna start with chicken. Pour it in on here, and then chickpeas. You can keep a chickpea like a side like this, and then you can add some paper here, yellow paper, and you can add some eggplants here. So you don't have to have all variety here. You can do like whatever you can do, and some cabbage here. And I'm gonna add some potatoes here. Okay, so you can add some like spring onion and some carrot. I just shredded some carrot. If you don't like, you don't have to. And now you can add your sauce. So this is our chimichurri sauce here. So I'm gonna add some sauce on top like this. Here, this is the presentation is done, and you can start anywhere. So good, everything it's perfect, very healthy, and you can make like extra. You can have for 2 or 3 meals for easily you can have. And also few things optional you can use, and you don't have to have so many varieties. You can have few things like which can cook faster also. You can add some greens too if you want, like cauliflower. You can add broccoli if you want, steamed broccoli. You can add like some kale also. Actually, you can just have steamed kale also. You guys must be wondering what I did with my cabbage water. Here is, I save it. You can add this with chicken broth, or you can drink like this too. Add some spices and just drink it. I hope you will enjoy this, and if you have any question, please feel free to ask me. And if you didn't subscribe my channel, and like and comments. Thank you for watching.